Now, I'm always saying it. Spark, fuel, and compression, the three things we need for an engine to run. Spark and fuel, 90% of the time, that's going to solve your problem. But when it doesn't, time for mechanical integrity check. We're talking about compression testing today on Tech Video. When checking the mechanical integrity of your engine, there's a few tests you can run. You can run a power balance test and isolate the cylinder. We'll do a compression test today. In another video, we'll look at a cylinder leakage test so we can actually pinpoint what's going on inside. But this is pretty cool. It's called a compression test. Now, you can go out to the junkyard and run one of these tests and tell if the engine's got compression or doesn't have compression. You're going to need about 90 psi for it to fire. Now, in order to do a compression test, there's a couple things you have to do right off the bat. First of all, you should have your engine warmed up. Then what you want to do is you want to come over and you want to block the throttle plate. So what I'm going to do is open the throttle plate and put a screwdriver in here and just kind of block it open so we can make sure we have no obstructions of the air going into it. Now, what we also want to do is we want to disable the ignition system or the fuel injection. I'm just going to unplug it right here and make sure that's not going to start, because we want to go through 4 strokes or 4 puffs of that compression cycle to read into our gauge. Then I'm going to come over. You want to remove all the spark plugs to get a nice even reading, but I'm just going to go ahead and pull one just to show you how to do it real quick. We'll pull one of these spark plugs out. And then you're going to have to go down and get a compression tester or compression gauge. There's a little gauge that's going to go in there. I'm going to screw it into the cylinder. And what this gauge is going to do is every time that cylinder comes up and starts making compression, it's going to get put into the gauge, and the gauge is going to read it for us. So if I come over and I tighten that up, and I have my gauge right here, so I'm just going to connect it to it. And when I connect it to it, now you're going to have to turn over the engine. We don't want it to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the compression go up. You should get about half the compression on the first puff. We'll see what this one does. 1, 2, 3, 4. You saw the needle jump 4 times. That was 4 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's pushing almost about 150 pounds per square inch in that cylinder. That's good. Now, if it was low, you can go get you a little squirt can of oil like this. You can put some oil in the cylinder and you can retry the test. What is that doing? Well, that oil is going around the rings there on the side, and if it seats a little bit, compression will come up. You know you have a ring problem. If it doesn't come up there, you're going to have to go a little further, and we'll talk about cylinder leakage test in another video. Well, thanks for watching, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook. See you later.